end up raising a child alone. Um, hey guys, welcome back to another video with me, Cynthia. Have you subscribed yet before I go on? All right, go ahead and do so. And thank you so much in advance. Wanted to ask you guys something. Let's talk about it, okay? How do you feel about staying together for the sake of the children? How do you feel about that? Do you think that is something feasible? Do you think that it's possible? Do you think it's doable? Do you think is okay for the children? Okay, so tell me how you feel about it down in the comments below, and let me tell you how I feel about it. Let's share. Me personally, my experience. I'm gonna say my marriage. I'm gonna go back there. I was married to my daughter's father. We was married 10 years, together 12. And when we divorced, that's what we did. I didn't want to stay in a marriage that was no longer serving me. I didn't want to stay together for the sake of my daughter. My daughter at 8 years old knew that I was unhappy. So you have to watch how you interact around children. We want our families to be raised with their father, because I didn't have my father growing up. I didn't have him. I had my stepdad, and I love him. He loved me like I was his. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really make a difference, if you understand what I'm saying. I didn't have my real father, but I had him. He treated me better than my real father, I'm sure. And no disrespect to nobody. I've gotten past that part. I've accepted that he wasn't in my life, and that's it, and that's all. But knowing how miserable I was in my marriage, I wasn't going to let my kids see me miserable. I had gone through enough misery with him. Enough. So I don't think it's fair to any child to have to go through the misery of seeing their parents happy. Excuse my nails, guys. I did hair over the weekend and it ripped my polish right off. Okay? Don't come for these nails, all right? I love you anyway. Okay? But yeah, again, I don't think that's healthy for a child. That's just my opinion, and that's just for me. You know what I'm saying? It might work for some, but it just didn't work for me. Because to me, as long as he was in my life and we trying to co-parent and we living in the same house trying to coexist, no, because it was gonna make me feel like he still had access to me. And I didn't want that. If we couldn't be like we needed to be in a relationship together in the house together, I don't want us to be together in the house if we're not together. No, I didn't want that. I'm just not that kind of person. I have no way, no shape, no form, no fashion, none of that. I wasn't having it. Kids know. Kids know, they pick up when their parents are not happy, especially the mother, the lady that carried you. The kids know. They're connected to you. They're connected to you. So what did you say? How do you feel? How you feel? I also know that some people stay together because of bills. The bills are so skyrocketing, especially these days, that some people have to stay together because that's the only way they can make it, until they can do something better. But baby, let me tell you this. I've always been the type of person that I'm going to try it even if I fail. I'm going to get my own place even if I had to do something else. I'm going to start off there. I'm going to get my own place because we're not living together. We are not living together. No. I went back home a few times, back when when my kids were young, because I was not going to spend my time with somebody that I wasn't no longer in love with or didn't love that way. I wasn't. To each his own, what worked for some may not work for others, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. When I'm done, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Especially in my heart, in my head. I'm still trying to get my head to catch up with my heart so they can connect and say, I'm done with you, but we still have this child. We have these children, you know what I'm saying? Whichever it is for you. Um, yeah, I hate sometimes that it doesn't work out. It's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? And it just didn't happen today. This type of thing happened way before you and I were both born. It just happened so much today than it did back then, I'm sure. The thing about today, as far as having kids, I mean, I see so many children being born, um, and then the mother end up raising the child alone. Um, that has and I'm not trying to put a business out here or out there. I'm just sharing with you again, like I always say, my experience is my journey, and she is a part of my journey. And I'm talking about my daughter. She's got kids. She's got 2 children, 2 babies to be exact. Chloe just turned 2, and Kymir is almost 5 months. He'll be 5 months tomorrow. She had 2 children with someone she thought that was sincere about having children, but in turn, the person wasn't. He wasn't. And you have to be careful who you have kids with. You know what I'm saying? And today she can't stand him. She don't like him. But she has to learn, just like I did, just like you did, just like we did. She's got to learn. I tell her, I don't want you making too many of those kinds of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? No, because it's not worth it. It's not fair to the child. I hadn't seen my dad. My real dad passed away about 4 years ago. But my stepdad had passed away like 2 years prior. My dad came here to where I live after my stepdad passed away. And I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if I wanted to be angry or if I was excited. But God answered. He answered my prayer because I wanted to know who my father was. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. I didn't know what he looked like. So God granted me that. That's how I know God is real. There's so many reasons how I know God is real. So when he sent him here to North Carolina where I live, I had mixed emotions, I didn't know how to feel. I wanted to ask him so many things, but guess what? I never asked him one thing before he passed. I didn't ask him why. I didn't ask him how. I didn't ask him who, what, when. I didn't ask him none of that. I just went on with the flow. But when he passed away, all those emotions came out in tears. I was hurt. It wasn't that I was hurt because he passed away. I know that sounds crazy. I was hurt because I didn't know him. I knew nothing about him. Yeah. That was something. To be an overgrown adult and you finally meet your father and you have no emotions. Yeah, I love him, but I don't know you. I don't know you, so how am I supposed to feel? And he never said one thing as far as to why he hadn't been around or why he didn't do this or why he didn't do that. He had nothing. And I have my father's ashes in my living room on my fireplace. I have his ashes. And sometimes I think about it like, I got your ashes here, but I know nothing about you. But I've gotten over that because if this had been like maybe a year ago, I couldn't come on here and tell you guys this without being choked up or being on here crying. And some days you might see me choked up or cry about something, but this ain't that because I'm healed from it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So again, I don't think being together for the sake of the kids is not a thing for me. It only makes the kids miserable. But if you're able to co-parent from a distance, if you can afford to live apart from each other, then do that. Sometimes, if you had to start off small, Because I'm going to tell you, that's exactly what I would have done. I don't know what I did. I always had 2 bedrooms because, you know, I got a girl and a boy. I started small, and it's okay. I was okay with that. I was happy with that. As long as I was not in close proximity or in the same house with my ex-husband. No, I was happy. I was happily divorced. Happily divorced. I was. And in my marriage, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about him. Things that I didn't know, things that I found out later. And I hated him. All of that stuff. I did. I hated my ex-husband. I hated him. Today is different. I don't hate him. I had to learn how to forgive him, because that's what God will want. And I've forgiven him. For whatever he did, I've forgiven him. And life goes on. But again, put down in the comment section how you feel about co-parenting. And yeah, I would love to hear your opinion. And thank you once again for tuning into my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video, okay? Bye-bye.